We have a very serious problem with fentanyl and drug-related crime that is manifested in street conditions, homelessness, retail theft. What we are seeing also that is most concerning to me, and I will say it's concerning and it's personal to me because I'm a recovering addict myself, but we are seeing a loss of life here that is twice as deadly as COVID-19 from drug overdose deaths.
That is Matt Dorsey of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors at the NewsNation Crime Town Hall earlier this month. But maybe it's a different issue than what he's talking about, because crime like drug deaths are one symptom of a much larger problem in the city. San Francisco's retail hub is turning into a ghost hub. Half the stores in the downtown area have closed since 2019. Whole Foods, Old Navy, Nordstrom. In June, the entire Westfield Mall left. We could go on. Anthropologie, H&M, Crate & Barrel. The city has the highest office vacancy rate of any large American city, 25 million square feet. That's 17 of the towers you see there, up for rent. San Francisco's 30% vacant. And now another historic San Francisco business is sounding the alarm. Gump's is the oldest continuously operated enterprise in San Francisco. The owner there says he may be forced to move if things don't change. And it'd be a big move. Gump's has been in San Francisco for a century and a half. It opened in 1861 during the gold rush. Chairman of Gump's, John Chachas, is with us now. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you. The Board of Supervisors fellow there says that the problem is fentanyl. And if it just solves the fentanyl problem, all these other problems go away. Is that how you see it?
No, as a businessman, that's nonsense. The problems of San Francisco are multifaceted. One of them began following COVID, and lots of people don't want to talk about it because it requires a discussion that's outside of the political scene of what do we do about empty offices. When we invited people during COVID to leave their offices, we decimated many American downtowns. And you see that in your statistics about empty offices. And the second part of that is bad public policy. So it's both things together. It's not one thing, it's both things. And until you've addressed both of those, the recovery of San Francisco, and by the way, San Francisco is not the only city that's facing these terrible problems. Ours are just really bad. It's not just fentanyl. Fentanyl is a piece of it, but a very small piece in my estimation.
You've called the problem a tyranny of the minority. And that would lead us to believe that the drug issues, the homelessness issues, the retail theft issues, the crime issues, all the video we've seen out of San Francisco of lawlessness is a result of policies. You've laid out the closures of offices during COVID, and obviously San Francisco and California had some of the most restrictive COVID laws. Are there other things that you have a problem with?
Well, we've gone from being an urban society where people had norms of conduct to being one where those norms of conduct are sort of off the table now. And we love the city. Gump's wants to be here for another 100 years. We have customers that want to come into our beautiful store and buy beautiful things. But for urban centers to work, they have to have safety, accessibility, cleanliness. And San Francisco is getting poor grades on all of those levels, all of them. So there's something in what has happened in what city ordinances, it used to be it wasn't permissible to distribute or use illegal substances in public. That's changed. It used to be you couldn't bathe in the fountain below the Apple store. Today it's like a public bath. It used to be you couldn't sleep on sidewalks. All of that has been changed under leadership in San Francisco to accommodate what I call this minority who are destroying the quality of life for everyone else in this city. And that needs to change. That just needs to be reversed. And we need to stop talking about it in veiled tones and pretending like there's some other cause. The rules of engagement and the rules of conduct in San Francisco need to be put back in place and enforced.
All right, and this has been a conscious choice, and we've covered this extensively on the program by leaders in San Francisco and by leaders in California et al. In terms of how they deal with crime and how they deal with businesses and on and on and on. Do you think that they didn't really understand the inevitable situation that was going to result from all of these policies? Is it bad intentions? Is it they're socialist? What is it?
I don't think it's bad intentions. I think two things occurred. The first is people are underestimating and underplaying the impact of people working in their offices 3 days a week. Let me just put it clearly. I'm a businessman. I have an MBA from Harvard. 3-day-a-week work doesn't work in any American city, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So the sooner the governors in this country take the power that they have and take action to put people back into their offices 5 days a week, the sooner that urban centers can try to recover. This is true in San Francisco. It's true in New York. Walk Madison Avenue from 59th Street to 96th Street. I mean, it's astonishing the kind of empty retail space you have in various cities in this country. It is on the back of COVID.
It's a great point in terms of what drives a city is the economic revitalization and the economic engine. I'm from St. Louis, where the downtown's a ghost town. Because of policies about the city and about businesses and how businesses are treated, and the results are predictable. You said that you can't really have these conversations. We're glad you're willing to, and we appreciate you coming on and talking about it, sir. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.